Good evening, everybody. Happy Wednesday. Hopefully, you were successful with your waiver wire acquisitions. I know that I was. I usually am for some reason. I don't know. I guess I just have a knack for knowing how to prioritize my waivers and get generally everybody I'm going after. Um, yeah, today this is Bronson's by any means necessary fantasy football talk for Wednesday. Let me get you my spikes and yikes. Well, no, never mind. No spikes and yikes at defense. Just give you my top 10 list and a couple of defenses outside the top 10 who could potentially be dark horse top 10 defenses this week. So, starting with, I kind of have them in the order that ESPN has them based on, their top 10. My top 10 is a little different than theirs. Not hugely different, but a little bit different. So I'm just going to go based on the way they have them ranked as my top 10. So number one, Patriots at the Texans. I mean, the Texans, if you remember way back in week one, the Texans looked good, right? But they haven't looked good since. And, they're just as bad as we kind of thought they were. Just like the Jaguars last year, and just like I said, the Jaguars, we all thought the Jaguars were going to be terrible last year. Then they went out there and won week one, and everyone was like, okay, maybe they're not going to be that bad. But then they didn't win a game the rest of the year, and they haven't won a game since. But it's looking like the Texans are kind of continuing that trend. They're going to win week one and then not win another game all year. The only downside for the Patriots is that it's in Houston and not in New England. If it was in New England, then the cold weather could be a bigger factor in a better day for the Patriots. But still, Patriots definitely a good defense for the week. Next, we got the Buccaneers versus the Dolphins. Dolphins offense really has looked terrible. The Buccaneers defense still loaded. Broncos defense at Steelers. Steelers offense looks pathetic. Ben Roethlisberger looks like he probably should have retired this offseason, and the offensive line is bad. The Broncos already strong defense should continue to put up another strong day here in week 5. Raiders against the Bears. Justin Fields is making another start. Justin Fields did look better last week, but now David Montgomery is out for an extended period of time. Bears offense still can't trust it. Not sure if we can trust the Raiders defense really either moving forward here, but in this week, still possibly a top 5 defense. Cardinals versus the 49ers. Trey Lance making his first career start. The Cardinals defense could have themselves a pretty good day, as they're already one of the better defenses in fantasy so far early this season. Ravens against the Colts. Colts have looked bad. I don't know what's going on with the Colts other than, they have some offensive line woes. Carson Wentz hasn't been healthy. Really, that's kind of his own fault. I admire his dedication to playing, but at the same time, the dude's trying to end his career before he's even 30 years old, and that's not typical of a quarterback. Carson Wentz plays the quarterback position like he's running back. He has that that mentality, and or like a linebacker really, and it's going to cut his career short. And so far the Colts are struggling. Ravens defense should continue, just like they did last week against the Broncos, should continue their upward trajectory back into the top 10 rankings for the season. Steelers defense against the Broncos. I believe Drew Lock is playing. I believe Teddy Bridgewater is still out, and the Broncos, even though they started out 3-0, they didn't play anybody good. I think they're going to start coming back to earth now. Steelers defense still, even though it's sitting outside the top 10 for the season right now, I still think they're top 10 defense season long. Panthers defense is going to right the ship against the Eagles. Fact of the matter is, Cowboys offense is really good. Cowboys might be a legitimate team this year because their defense, which we'll talk about here shortly, is actually decent. So, decent defense, a really good offense. Panthers just had a down game. I still think that's a really good defense, and they're going to right the ship against the Eagles. Cowboys defense against the Giants. Daniel Jones, still the quarterback for the Giants. Any defense facing Daniel Jones is always going to be a decent streaming option, especially against the Cowboys, when they have Trayvon largely responsible for Trayvon Diggs largely is a large part of why the defense has been so successful. He has 5 interceptions through 4 weeks right now. That's insane. Obviously, I don't think he's going to keep that up. But if the Cowboys defense can continue to play this legitimately, they will possibly make a run for top 10 season long. Definitely like them this week against the Giants. And lastly, the Saints against the Washington football team. Saints defense is still a top 5 defense. Washington football team still, even though it's a decent offense, they do have some holes that the Saints defense should be able to exploit, put up a good day. A couple outside the top 10 that I think you could consider in your lineups if you miss out on those other guys. Vikings defense against the Lions. Lions are bad. Yes, the Vikings defense is bad too. That's why I'm probably the biggest Vikings fan that you know, and I'm not even trusting the Vikings defense against the Lions this week. But that's because I have better options, and I've got all those other defenses. I was able to get them, or I already had them. So, but if you're in a 12-team league and you are streaming defenses on a weekly basis and you don't have those guys, Vikings defense against the Lions could be okay. And lastly, the Rams against the Seahawks tomorrow night. I know that the over/under on that game suggests that you probably don't want to start either of those defenses, but it is a Thursday night game. Those have a tendency, historically, to be low-scoring bad games. And if you look at the Rams Seahawks history over the last decade or so, they like to have field goal shootout contests in their games. They like those 9-6 final scores in those games. So would I trust them? Would I start the Rams defense? No, but if you have the Rams defense, it's a good defense. You might just take a chance and just roll them out there and hope that the Seahawks get a couple of field goals and no touchdowns. We can't predict the future, right? We're just trying to play the trends, play the matchups, play our hunches, and so those are the 12 defenses to really consider. There's no other defenses really that I think are worthwhile this week. So try to get yourself one of those 12. That's it. I'm not feeling super hot. I don't know what's going on. I didn't sleep much last night, but I did take a nice long nap earlier today, and now I'm feeling like I need to go back to bed again already. It's only 5 o'clock. I don't know. My last week at work kind of wiped me out too, physically, because we're short, man. We got one of our guys, the extra guy that we had. He got into a little bit of a tussle with TSA, and that's kind of a big no-no. So he's gone. My boss thinks that he's going to be able to get him back after a 30-day suspension. That would be a neat magic trick. If he pull that magic trick off, I think that he should open his own show in Las Vegas on the Strip somewhere, because that'd be a real magic trick. But we definitely need some help. So if you're in Portland, or if you want to just commute up to Portland on a daily basis, SSP could really use some help. We could use some help down in the commissary. There's only 2 of us. Really, there's just me, because my the other guy is kind of the supervisor of the thing, so he kind of does all the paperwork and the orders stuff. He's not out there helping me make runs or put stuff. He's not helping me as much as needed sometimes. So it would be nice to get a third body, especially since I hear we're supposed to be opening another restaurant next week, which is insane to me, because we don't have the people for it, and it's kind of just out of nowhere. We don't have like the space to put their stuff and anything right now. It just seems really early to be opening another restaurant. I think we should be doing that after the first of the year. So we'll have to see how that goes. But yeah, we need some help. So I need some help. I'm asking for some help, which is not something that I generally do. Anyways, I'm gonna end this for 10 minutes. You came here for fantasy advice, not job solicitation. So Good luck with your defense, special teams this week. I'll get to tight ends, quarterbacks, wide receivers, running backs later on. I don't know if I'm going to do them all in the same day again because that didn't really work out last week. I ended up having to amend some of my opinions and stuff later on in the week. So I think, I don't know. I'm not going to have any time on Saturday. And I don't know if I want to make time on Friday, but we'll see. I'll do a couple. I'll get at least tight ends done tomorrow. So thanks for watching. Hopefully this advice is helpful. Peace, love, and nacho fries.